All right, sorry, I have my mic off, so I need to make sure that's on so you can hear me. And let me close this down. All right, so we're gonna talk about this cool Ableton Live app, and the maker of it created this from another person's app, which you can buy. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, the other app might work on other platforms other than Ableton, but I'm not 100% sure because I'm just learning this thing myself, but I really like what it does. I'm going to pull it up. Give me 1 second here to tell you exactly. I want to make sure I get the name right for you so you know what it is. So give me 1 second. Okay, here we go. Just wanted to have it. So it's called Woods. It's made by VOct. And it is a Max for Live plugin. So you do need the suite. And I know it works on 11, and I'm working on 12 right now. And I think he's at version 1.5, and he offers it for free. Of course, you can donate to all developers, as always, on Gumroad, by giving more money. So I will show you how I set it up, because there's not, though it's really cool, like out there, how he uses it. The problem is I don't see a video that really shows you how to set it up. So it kind of, if you don't know what you're doing, you'll be like thoroughly confused with this. It took me a minute to figure it out. The good thing is, if you have your information setting open over here, he's put some little notes, and those notes kind of help you a little bit to be able to figure most of it out. But you'll need MIDI tracks. You'll need at least, depending on how many different sounds you want to be in your soundscape, I'm gonna call it, for lack of better words. I use 3, but you don't have to use 3. You could just use 1. Now I have them grouped together. I'm gonna ungroup them for right now. I'll tell you why I grouped them together in just a second. So let me minimize this so you can see. So disregard this one. This is just where I recorded everything to it. So this is what it's going to sound like, or what it makes. Just want to let you hear it. Okay, so there's 3 things going on here. There's 3 circles. You see them. Each one represents a different sound. That's basically what it is. Okay. And you see this little arrow, wherever I put it, the sound is going to play for the most part. And you can put it between pieces and capture unique sounds. And so let me talk about how I set this up. In order to talk about it, I'm going to mute this. Okay. There's a lot to this, I'll be honest with you. So for some people, they're pretty turned off just because how much is involved in putting it together, which is half the battle. All right, so let's go find it. It is in my user library, and here it is. So Woods comes with the Woods relay, the Woods itself, the waver, which is what you saw with the circles in it, the single note, and then the grains. And to set one up, you'll need to start with at least a single note, to which you can, by the way, this should be on. I don't know why it's off. To which you can pick whatever single note you want. I just left the generator on the random, or the C3 here. This is your waver. So this is the waver. Put that in, and it allows you to use the attack, decay, sustain, and release to adjust the notes. You can also normalize, and you can pick a file, whatever file you want, and drop it in. You can do scales. I haven't messed with that yet, to be honest with you, so I'm not going to show you that. I'm just showing you the basics of it. And then this is just me throwing in the EQ and the OTT. You don't need it to do this. So these are added things to shape the sound that I'm doing. And then you do need a Woods relay to go in at the end. Okay. So this you don't need, this you don't need, but you would want to use the Woods relay, the waver, and the single note. And those are all in there. Okay. So then I did that for, once you create one, you could just duplicate the track and make multiples of them. Of course, if you're going to use the EQ, that's going to all change a little bit depending on what sample you put in there, what sound from that sample you're trying to EQ out to get. So that's what that is. I wonder when you jump from 1 to 1, does it turn off the X? No, the X should stay on. Not sure why the X is going off. When the X is on, it's playing a note, right? When the X is off, it's not. Okay, so this is your MIDI track that kind of controls everything, where you can adjust the speed. You can use color mode if you want to do that. And you have an XY, which is basically what you see here. This is what that is. So it starts with a circle. You can enlarge the circle or make them small. Now, here's where it got confusing. I didn't know how in the world to do it. I'll be honest. So what's weird is if you click, you're controlling this little guy here, which floats around, right? But if you touch, let's say you touch a square and you want to double click, you want to move the square, you have to hit G, and then you can move the square wherever you, or the I keep saying square. You can move the circle wherever you want. Okay. Then you hit G to drop it. So you can touch any of them, hit G, and then be able to move them around. Drop it and use G. Then to make them smaller or larger, use the minus, which on your keyboard is in the right corner next to the 0, on most people's keyboard at least. See that? You can make them, so wherever your mouse is, where it's going to enlarge. If you use the equals, which is right next to it, it will enlarge the circle. So we're going to enlarge or make it a little bit smaller. Okay, and then the same goes for any of them. Wherever your mouse is, that's the circle it's working on. And then wherever you click here, you click to release it, right, with your mouse. So you can move this thing around and find unique sounds. You can blend a bunch of different sounds together to create something new. The color mode just changes the color from one to the other. You could have separate, I guess, woods if you wanted to, and make different circles in them and whatever. That's up to you. I just did one to see if I could control all and create it like a little soundscape, because it was definitely different setting this up than I was expecting. I thought it was going to be much easier. And another reason I grouped them is because if I want to record all of them into one track, it's much easier to do it that way. So if you grab one, hit Command, and select all 4, and then group them together, now you have this group, right? And then when you want to go, let's say I wanted to record here, all I had to do is put it on the group. And now whenever I record, it would blend all these sounds into one, just like that. And while it's doing this, you can move it around. So you can open this back up. And if you want to stop it, or like, it's going to keep playing, right? It's just a constant playing. It's really good for, in my opinion, for ambient music, creating sound, or just creating textural soundscapes in the background that you want playing. You could try blending different things. I've only tried it with these flutes and these little low pad type sounds. I guess you could try it with other stuff, maybe some drums or doing something unique with that. I've never thought about that till I just said it. But anyway, but it's a fun tool. I do wish I've never used the original. So the original one, let me see, that it was based on, is like, I think the guy's name is Leaf. It's called Leaf Cutter, I think is what it is. And the guy's name is John something. But if you look up Leaf Cutter John on YouTube, you can see his videos. And his is really nice. But I don't know how much he supports it. I don't know anything other than that it's a cool device that he's kind of created. That's really all I have on that. So check it out if you want to. It's free. If you have Suite, you should be good to go. You just download it on Gumroad, and it's called Woods. VOTC, I believe, is the guide. VOTC dot or whatever. And if you grab it, you might enjoy it. It's one of these things where it's definitely a lot more work to set up. I will say that up front, but I do like the sounds and the way it can blend sounds together. I think that's pretty unique about it. Otherwise, that's all I got on this video. Until the next one, I'm out.